Hello, everyone, potential Kickstarter backers and friends. This is Jason Duff, the lead designer of Heroes and Hardships, and this video is a character creation tutorial so you can see how a full character is made through Heroes and Hardships. Our character creation system is simple yet deep, with hundreds and hundreds of options for abilities, ancestry traits, flaws, skills, and so forth. I think that you're really going to like it, and I want to show you exactly how it's done here. There are two methods for character creation in Heroes and Hardships in the core rulebook. These are point buy and roll. The point buy is a system where you get a certain amount of attribute points and you assign them to the attributes that you like. The roll system is you roll on a table and that determines your attribute score for each of your attributes in order. Obviously, one gives the player a lot more flexibility to create the characters he wants or she wants, and the roll system is definitely more random in nature. Some people like that, and some people want to have full control, so that is up to you. However you want to do it, you can. If you look at the character sheet here, and this is on roll20.net, we have a full character sheet that you can use if you use virtual tabletops and Roll20 in particular. If you look on the left side of the character sheet, you will see the attribute lists. They are grouped in physical, mental, social, and fate. These are the attributes that you will use to build your character. We're going to do the point buy system just for ease of use for now, just so I can show you exactly how it works. Characters are built with points based on the power level of the game. You see here, power level 2 is what is selected. On power level 2, you get a certain amount of points, whereas in power level 1, you get less, and in power level 3, you get more. These points can be allocated to your attributes pretty much any way you like, except a few rules. In this example, we are using the fate attribute, which is sometimes not used, and that attribute can go to 0, where everything else needs to be at least 1. This example, we're going to make an assassin. So I'm going to change the attributes around to a total of 36 points, which is what you get for a power level 2 character. 3 in strength, 5 in agility, 5 in dexterity, 3 in endurance. How about 2 in intelligence, 2 in knowledge, 4 in senses, 3 in willpower, 2 in presence, 3 in empathy, and 2 in communications, and 1 in influence, and 1 in fate, giving him 1 fate point remaining. Fate has uses for magic and for extra things that help your character later on. So we're done with attributes. The next thing we're going to do is go to skills and modifiers. Here on the character sheet you can see the skill groups, and this has all the skills in the game when we open some of these attribute groups. The way this works is you add up all your attributes and in each group, and that's how many possible ranks you get for the group as a whole. So if your attribute total is 16, like it is here in physical skills, then that's how many attribute ranks you get to add when you're filling out your skills. So we can start with physical skills here, and let me open up agility and dexterity. As an assassin, there's probably certain skills we want to focus on, like stealth. So let's give him 4 in stealth. So that's 4 skill points that I've used of the 16 total that we have. I will give him, what else? Let's see. Small blades, so short swords, daggers, things like that. So that's 8 of the 16. And then dodge. Dodge is crucial for evading things like incoming attacks. So that's another 4. For a total of 12 ranks. The ranks are kept right there, easily seen on the character sheet. Resilience and stamina are good. They have very specific uses in the game as well, so we need 2 more. Let's do acrobatics. That would fill out all of the physical skills that we need. Let's shut those down and move on. Now we have mental skills. We have a total of, let's see, it looks like 4, 8, 11 attributes, so we're going to get 11 ranks, 3 in perception and 3 in reaction. That's 6 of the 11. What else should we pick? We have, let's see, in willpower, let's do fortitude and courage, 1 each. That's 8, so just a couple more left. And then we'll look at some other ideas here. Lore, it's like a knowledge-based skill, kind of a catch-all, and survival. That brings us up to 10. That is 10 of the total that we had. So we get 1 more. How about healing? Kind of helps us do some first aid. And that would be all with mental skills, and we can move on to social skills. Social skills, looks like we have 8 here total. So let's look and see what our options are for skills and while I expand them. Okay. Acting is kind of like a disguise. It can be used for that. So let's do 1 there. How about 1 in read person, or 2 in read person and 2 in streetwise? And how about 2 in deception? Now there is something to understand is when you spend the skill ranks that equal your attribute, it costs 1 additional. So this actually costs me 3 skill points instead of 2 skill points. And that happens when you meet the attribute that governs the skill. So 2 and 2. That does not happen when you have 1 and 1, however. These are just some case corner rules. Fate is the next thing, and you can see that there's only 1 skill called Focus. Focus is magic based, and what happens is you have an extra fate point if you don't have any fate or focus skill. Therefore, you have 1 extra skill point that can be put somewhere else, not in the fate skill category. So this is done at 1-to-1, doesn't cost anything extra like it would normally. Normally when you spend a physical skill point in a mental area, it actually costs double. So what should we do? How about just athletics? We'll put it in athletics and then we're ready to go. So now that we have skills all finished, the next step is to calculate characteristics. Characteristics are a type of attribute that is derived from skills and your attributes. So you can see all these on the right side of the screen here. Size and speed is not a part of the derived attributes. So we'll go to defenses here, 26. So that is a combination of several of the attributes and a couple skills. Magic defense 8, mental defense 14, wound level 16, and then injury level 8, mortality threshold 32, terror level 15, fear level goes to 7, and insanity threshold is 30, and the last thing is wound threshold of 2. I'm going to do a video for combat as well, and we'll get more into those details later. Next, though, is our abilities and ancestry traits. There are hundreds upon hundreds of abilities and ancestry traits and flaws that you can use in your game and for your character. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to purchase them. I purchased them based on our skill ranks. So if you look here, you see 17 physical, 11 mental, and 7 social, and 0 fate. There are groups in the abilities and ancestry traits that correspond to these groups. There's also a general group and a fate group that you can spend in. The general group you can spend as if it was 1-to-1. So if you have physical skills, you can spend it in any category, in the general category. Now, I'm not going to pick any ancestry traits for simplicity here. That would just go along with, say, human, and a human would get 8 8 potential ancestry traits that they can choose. And so that goes for any ancestry in the game, or any that you should create. There should be 8 of them that is available to players based on that trait, based on their ancestry. So here I have just shown you what I have taken. They each have a cost, and that goes against the physical, mental, or social pool that you have. I have wary, read in the wind, keen one, literate, and others, and these come out of different pools. For instance, read in the wind is mental, and so is wary, and keen and literate and mental conditioning. So these come out of the different pools: the physical, general, or social pool. And they do different things, right? Some increase your skills, some give you advantages in certain situations, like hard to hit, for instance. You add 1 plus your power level, so that's a total of 3, to your base defense. That's one thing that does. A lethal weapon adds 2 to your damage. So now I'm going to go up and I'm going to change lethal damage up to 29, because of hard to hit 1 actually increased that stat for us. Okay, so the next thing in character creation is really getting into the character that you're playing. Not so much your stats, but now what we said, we are actually in what I would call step 7. So determine your background. Who is your character? Okay, who is your character and what do they do? And after that, a flaw is picked for you. That might seem strange, but what we do in Heroes and Hardships is we have the GM select the flaw for the player. Now, it's completely up to you. There is an optional rule allowing players to choose, but this is so that based on the background that the GM can read from you, and the background doesn't have to be some huge elaborate thing, but like, what is your personality, what might be wrong with your character, or what are they working on. So that's when you select a flaw. Flaws help with the role play down the line, and then they give you some some sort of mechanical penalty in certain situations. So I am choosing criminal, which has a very specific effect. So this person is an assassin, and I've given them the criminal flaw. So that the flaws cost certain things, and that can give you ancestry traits for free and that sort of thing. But every character gets at least 1 flaw assigned by the GM. The next thing is your career and currency points. Here I'm going to roll a status check, and the status check is going to tell me how many currency points we get. Currency points are a kind of an abstraction of money in Heroes and Hardships, and we got a 9 here. We don't have very specific units of cash or gold or anything like that, because we don't know what setting you're going to run. So we actually have everything set in currency points instead of dollars or pounds or euros or some sort of gold, platinum, and whatnot. As well, at this step, you're going to pick your career. We're obviously an assassin. We already did that. Just so you know, careers are basically a narrative example of what your character can do, and what they might know, because there is a career skill under knowledge for a catch-all. So that's what that's for. There's no like class-based. This is completely classless as a system. And that is pretty much it. Now you're free to go and buy your equipment, and there's hundreds of pieces of weapons and armor and a narrative gear system which has an effect on anything you do. It's impossible for us to list all the gear possible in every single setting. So it also has this abstraction of gear, which can do lots of different things. And that is probably just about the end of this video. I've created this character in less than 15 minutes while explaining it to you. Now, when you create your first characters, the main thing you're going to do is be looking at the many options that are available to you. Whereas I still have to do this myself and others that have played tested this system a lot. But all the other parts of character creation are extremely simple and take very little time to do. If you know what you want as far as your abilities and ancestry traits, then this process goes very quickly. It's the only thing that takes a little bit of time is understanding what you want to do, the many options that are available to you to make this character creation system very deep, very deep. And so you can create the character that you want. There's no limitations, very little. And so that is what we have today. And I really thank you for watching this video, and I hope you get an idea of how character creation works with Heroes and Hardships. And please back and support us. This project means the world to us. We've been working on it for a long time, and we think you will really love it. Thank you so much for your time.